Well, good morning everybody. We have finally got to the end of our 7-day course in making a Rewena bug. So today, this morning, I'm going to teach you how to actually make the bread. And then I've got a little surprise for you at the end of the video. But I'm going to show you how to make the bread. So we can make the bread this morning, we can let it rise during the day, and then we can put it in the oven and we can have it for dinner tonight. So how exciting is that? If you don't know me, my name is Linda and I am passionate about food. I'm passionate about cooking and I'm passionate about teaching. And one of the things that has really resonated with me over the last year or so is how we make bread, and how bread is something that sustains our family. So if you know how to make bread, if you know how to make Rewena bread, then your family will never ever go hungry. And that's really important to me. And you know, we've just spent the last 8 weeks in lockdown, 7 to 8 weeks in lockdown, and during that time, you know, there's lots of people have had financial hardship. You know, it has touched every single New Zealander, the impact of this, and so in one way, shape or form, I have been able to help people in regards to making sure that they are still eating really fantastic food, and it's simple and it doesn't have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be expensive. So we have got to the last day. I'm just going to move you down so you'll be able to see. Oops, there we go. This is great when you've got a production team of just yourself. My apologies for that. So yes, so we got to the end of day 7 yesterday of our bug. So our bug is ready to go and it's ready to make our loaf of Rewena bread. So get your pen and paper, people. I will put this in the comments below, but get your pen and paper because we're going to start writing out the recipe. And you know what, guys, if you really like this, and I know every single YouTube channel says this, please subscribe to my channel. And yes, please subscribe to my channel. This is about teaching people how to cook. It's about teaching people, and when you know how to cook, then you can sustain your family. I'm just going to turn my light on. I'm looking a bit dark. Does that make me look lighter? So get your pen and paper and we're going to go through this recipe. So this makes one large Rewena loaf. Okay, and it'll go into, I use this is one of my Dutch ovens. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4. I also use I also have a slow cooker, and I use the inside of the slow cooker as well. So this is what your bread is actually going to be in. This is a large loaf of Rewena bread. We need flour, so we have 4 cups of flour. I usually use high grade flour, but during the lockdown I use any flour that I actually had. So my flour was plain flour or high grade flour, whatever flour that I could actually get from the supermarket. So we have that. So 4 cups of flour. Now we have 2 cups of lukewarm water. Okay, 2 cups of lukewarm water. Then we also have 2 dessert spoons of sugar. I use raw sugar because I just bought raw sugar, but you can use any, you know, you can use white sugar if you want. You could also put some honey in it, I suppose, if you wanted to. I haven't, and I'm going to say I've never actually put honey in my bread. I like quite a sweet loaf, and I know some people like quite a sour loaf, but I like quite a sweet loaf. So we've got that, and then we have 2 cups of our bug, and you also use up to a cup of flour for the dusting and when we actually do the kneading process. Okay, so remember, so in total you could be up to 5 cups of flour. Okay, so that's all we need. That's in our recipe. So again, we have 4 cups of flour. Any flour. I would suggest not using self-raising flour because that already has a raising agent in it, and the leveling agent in your bread is actually your bug. Okay, so but if self-raising flour is all you got, then self-raising flour is all you got, and you might find that the rising time is probably going to be significantly shorter. So we have that. Oh, just making sure my little earpod fits in my ear. So we've got 4 cups of flour. We have got 2 cups of lukewarm water. We have 2 dessert spoons of sugar. And even if you don't want to use the sugar, that is okay. Don't use the sugar. And then we have 2 cups of our bug. I use 1. So this is the bowl that I use. So I'm pretty lowbrow, I think, when it comes to what I have in my kitchen. I have a very, very simple kitchen, but it's absolutely packed to the gills, and everything in my kitchen I use. Everything, absolutely everything gets used. But, you know, I don't need fancy this and fancy that. The things I do like, though, is I do like having good knives. And I do have good knives, and I have got to go down and buy myself a knife bag. So, 4 cups of flour. I've been reasonably precise with measurements for this recipe and for this course. And the reason why I did that is it kind of gives you a little bit of certainty, because when they say a pinch of this and a dollop of that, you know, it can actually, you can be quite anxious because you're thinking, what's a bloody dollop and what's a pinch? So this is really something that you will learn from, and then you will develop your own technique. And the thing, and what I love about this is that you will develop your bug, and your bread will develop its own whakapapa. So you will be able to sit there and you'll be able to tell people how you created this, what's inside of it, you know, how you learnt to make the bug, all of these things, and that becomes a whakapapa of your rewena. And it's actually really, it's just gorgeous when people can do that. So we've got down here, so that's my flour. So I make rewena every single day. Apart from, normally Sunday I don't make rewena, but I am making rewena today. It's Sunday. So I just mix that in. And I decided to get dressed up. Sorry, I've just got a bit itchy nose. I decided to get dressed up because I thought, you know what? We need to honour everybody who's taken this course and is learning to make bread. And I want to honour you by looking as, well, I'm not saying professional, but, you know, I want to dress for the occasion. So I want to mickey out to you guys. I want to show the respect that you've shown me by following my course, by looking glamorous. So was it 8:30 or something on a Sunday morning? My children are still asleep. So we just mix that up there. I normally just put a little well in the middle. And then, so this bowl here actually measures out the 2 cups. So this is, and then that is our water. So I'll show you. So I start kind of bringing things in. Now, if I haven't already told you, this is a really wet bread dough. They call it, well, high hydration loaf. Okay, so it's wet. So it's not going to be, so if it's dry when you haven't got enough liquid in that, but it also gets sticky. So you got to remember that when you're actually kneading, it gets sticky. You'll get sticky stuff all over your hands, and you have to be okay with that, people. So I just mix up all the water in here. So as I said, I make rewena every day. So I have been trying my very best to streamline the method and the recipe that I have, because I want consistent results. So we put that in there. I'm just going to put my little, here we go. I'm just getting used to these AirPods that I bought. So I've got that there. And now we're going to pour out 2 cups of our rewena bug. And I'm going to bring this up to you. This is our beautiful bug that we have been working with and we have been looking after and we have been loving for the past 7 days. This is our bug. So it's got, so as you can see, it's got the bubbles on there. So it's kind of the consistency of, it looks like cream that you've just beaten to make it thicker, but you haven't beaten it into whipped cream. So, and it's actually, this is quite a, it's slightly tangy, but it certainly doesn't smell of vinegar. So we've got that. So you can see all the little bubbles that are on there. So this is one active, beautiful bug that's ready to be your leveling agent. So it's going to be free rising agent for your bread. And you have worked on this for the past 7 days. And as I have been saying before, I said, yes, you could use it earlier than that. But, you know, you want to grow a nice, strong, robust bug. And we need patience. Bread making is not something that you do that's in, don't do it in a rush. And don't be impatient when you're making this bug. And that you just got to just let things go. Just let things move. And so just kind of say, look at this. This is lovely. And we put this. So I had some questions from people, and one of the women that I had a question from, she was like, because the water had separated from her bug on day 2, and she was a bit worried about that, and I actually said to her to go back, because she had done my other course the year before, and I said, go back and look at these videos. And she hadn't actually gone through and looked at the videos. And so I said, this is it's a different method and a different recipe. So the difference here, so she was still used to putting in potato water. The difference here is that you put the grated potato in on the first day, and you do not have to put any more potato in through the 7-day period. Okay, so you just put it in once, and then that's it. So this is like a, how can I say, this is like a, you know, when you're making scones. This is like, looks like a kind of consistency of lemonade scones when you got them together, and you keep on thinking to yourself, this is never going to work. Okay, so what I do is I just dust around here. I'm going to put this dough on this board now, and I'm going to, board on my bench, and I'm going to start kneading. As I said to you before, it's very, very wet, so buyer beware, things are going to get messy. This is a scraper that I cut off from a spatula, from a cookie spatula. So I use this, and this is actually for pastry cutting. So that one I cut off from a spatula. This one I bought in a hoko shop, in a second-hand shop. I think it was something like $2. Both of these I use all the time. They are absolutely. So now I'm going to scrape the dough out. Okay. And it is wet, baby. And what I do now is I'm just bringing through the dough. I hope you can see. Actually, if I move down here a bit, you should be able to see. I'm just going to... Oh, yeah. Just want to keep you in camera shot. But, you know, the production value here, production crew is me and a good phone, a tripod, which is sitting on a bear crate, and a tray on top of a chair just in front of my kitchen area. So you're just starting to bring things together. Okay, if it's still really wet, so when we're going to start kneading now, and you're going to think it's going to start getting sticky on your hands, okay, just bear with. Another tip that I do is I grease the inside of my Dutch oven, and I line it with baking paper, and so I don't have to worry about things getting stuck. So I can feel this dough. This dough is actually quite robust. It's not too sticky. So sometimes you make something and it's like sticky as, and you've got stuff all over your hands. And so you're just kneading your loaf, and this is lovely, and it doesn't take very long. It's like a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, I think, probably at the most. Actually, I won't put any more flour in there. Just going to bring this up to the camera so you can have a look. So that's what your bread is looking like. Can you see that? So you can, I mean, I when I first started making bread, I don't think I needed it enough. So now it's just, you know, again, this is your recipe. This is your bread, this is your method. I'm just showing you one method, and this is a method that I've been working on for over a year. And the reason why I use this method and the reason why I do this, how I do it, is I want consistent results every time. And when I first started this journey of making Rewena, I did not have consistent results every time. Not at all. And, you know, I lost my confidence, and I'm thinking, you know, how can I teach people to make Rewena when, you know, I'm really hit and miss with my own Rewena. So I kind of took a pause and did some more research. You know, I interview people. So this recipe that I have, you know, I've interviewed people that have used, you know, cooked potato and cooked potato water, raw potato. You know, people that put milk in their Rewena, people that put water, people that like a sour bug, you know, all of these different things. So I've been looking at that and researching European sourdough, you know, bread making. So all of these things. So I could come together with a consistent loaf. And I wanted something that was really simple and actually was cheap. And when I say cheap, I don't mean cheap and nasty. I don't mean $2 shop cheap. I mean something that your family can afford to make. You know, get yourself some potatoes. And you probably always have potatoes, something, you know. And if you haven't got potato, got a kumara, use a kumara. Get yourself your potatoes. Get yourself a 10 kilo bag of flour, you know. Grow your bug and then make your bread. And if you do that, it is really, really cost effective. And, you know, I live on a very tight budget. You know, it's just me here and my 2 children. So this is the reality. This is our reality. Our reality is that, you know, a lot of us don't have the income that, you know, so we can buy, you know, all our fresh stuff and all the fresh food, and that's okay. But you can still eat really, really well if you buy the right ingredients and cook from scratch, you know. And this is a labor of love. And I can tell you, you know, every person that's gonna, oops, came out of my ear, every person that is going to be making this bread today is gonna love everything about it. You know, just relax, guys. Don't get worry, just relax. I've had lots of messages through the week of people thinking, oh, my bug's not rising, oh, I'm not doing this, and I said, well, just show me it. And I think, no, you're all good, just relax, you know. And if it doesn't work out, don't worry about it, just do it again. You know, we live in a society where we think that everything has to be perfect every time we do it, so it has to be perfect first time. And you got to remember that your aunties and your mum and your nannies, they've been making this stuff for years and years and years and years. So be gentle on yourselves, please. So now, so what I'm doing here is I'm bringing my hand down, and that is actually kind of giving this a bit of tension across the loaf. And I could cut it into 3, and I could make 3 balls, and that becomes a pull apart loaf, but you know, we'll just do it this way. And I'm going to show you. This is what it looks like now. I'm going to put it into my Dutch oven. Boom. And what I do now is I put a little bit of oil on top. I've been using rice bran oil, and I've been using that because it's the oil that the first oil that I grabbed, and I've just been using. Now this sits somewhere nice and warm, and you can put a lid on it. You can put some Glad wrap over the top if you want. You can put the top of your Dutch oven on there if you want, and you're going to let this rise, and it will bring this over here. Oh, it's heavy. What it should do is it should come up to the top here. Okay, so when it starts to rise, at first it goes out and then it'll go up. Okay, so just go out and then go up. And give it a, you know, don't rush it. I mean, I know what you've got to do. You're going to go and have a look and go, is it risen yet? Oh, I have it. Is it risen? Oh, I'm going to watch it. Is it risen? But, you know, just relax. You've got bread for dinner. You don't have to worry about anything else. Put it somewhere nice and warm. Now, I put this stuff in my bag, so I'm refeeding it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is it. You have now made your first loaf of Rewena bread. And we're going to talk about the baking. So when it is ready, I put my oven on at 210 degrees centigrade, and I have a gas oven, so I have instant heat. You want to preheat your oven. So bread loves hot ovens. A bread will love a hot oven. Bread does not like warm, lukewarm. Bread likes hot. So you pop it in there. I take the lid off. So I bake it. So first for 20 minutes, then I open that and I turn it around. So I rotate my bread in the oven, because your oven will have hot spots and cold spots. So I rotate that. Then I put it on for another 20 minutes. Then after that, I pull it out. I put, and then I normally put a little bit of oil on top, because I like that crispy oil, topping. And then I will poke it to see how well cooked through it is. And normally what we'll do is it'll just get at the bottom of your skewer. So this is a skewer that I use. At the bottom of your skewer, it'll still be slightly doughy. And then I'll put it back in the oven for 10 minutes. And then I pull it out. And then I will just check. And normally that's it. It's done. You might want to put it in, if it's still slightly doughy at the bottom, you might want to put it in for another 5 minutes. But pretty much that should be your loaf. Now when I pull my loaf out of the oven, peoples, I then get a tea towel, a damp tea towel, and I wrap it, I pull it out of the Dutch oven. I wrap it in a damp tea towel and then I put it on a cooling rack. And the reason why I do that is because it will give you a soft crust. If you want a hard crust, don't put the tea towel over it. Gosh, I'm getting flour and I've just had my little AirPod fall out again. This is such a new experience with these things. So pull it out of the oven, put it on a wire rack. If you want a hard crust, don't put your damp tea towel over it. If you want a soft crust, put your damp tea towel over it and just let it cool. And that's it. Fantastic. Now your bug maintenance. I think you can get at least 2 loaves out of this, 2 big loaves and 1 small loaf, and the small loaf is half the ingredients. So you probably don't want to feed it as much as we did in the last 7 days. So what you can do to maintain your bug, if you still want it to be sitting on your bench and you still want to be making bread in there, just feed it a little bit. So one day you might put a dessert spoon of flour in there and mix it up and leave it. The next day you might put a dessert spoon of sugar in there and just stir it up and leave it. You know, the day after that you might put half a cup of water in there and stir it and leave it. You know, it's just giving the bug something to eat. But not to the large quantities. But if you want to build this bug up again, like if you're going to have something where you're going to have to make a lot of bread, then go back to what we were doing before, which is half a cup. So half a cup of flour or half a cup and half a cup of water. And that if I need to bulk it up and get quite a big bug, I would change that to a cup of flour and a cup of water and a dessert spoon of sugar. And that will build your bug up quite quickly. But if you want to just keep it there bubbling away, you just need to put like a little dessert spoon. You know, you don't have to put that much in there, and that will maintain your bug. If you want to put it to sleep, you put it in a little glass jar and put it in the fridge, and that'll slow it right down, and it'll just go to sleep and it'll stay in there. And then when you want to bring it out again and revive it, you bring it out, you bring it up to room temperature, and then you start feeding it again. So these bugs are actually really robust. So, you know, it takes a lot to give it to kill it. So these are actually really, really robust. If you have liquid that separates from your bug, just take it and drain off the liquid. You know, if it's in, you know, if you've got that separation, just take it off and drain off that liquid, so that'll be fine. These are really robust things, but they're living creatures, and they need to be loved, and they need to be cherished, and they need to be looked after. And you know, you can leave it on your bench. I leave mine on my bench. Like I said to you, I make bread every single day, and I leave my bug out on my bench. I've got 3 bugs now because I've got this one here. I've got 1 bug that I made with cooked potato and potato water, and I've got another one which is the raw one. Me personally, I love the raw grated potato bug. Absolutely love it. It is easy peasy lemon squeezy to use. You know, it doesn't take that much time to grow your bug, and you don't have to worry about remembering to put the potato water in every day, because you already put the potato water in right at the potato right at the beginning when you made your bug. So I think we've covered that. So we've covered the recipe. Okay, so that's 4 cups of flour, plain flour or high grade flour, 2 cups of lukewarm water, 2 dessert spoons of sugar, that's optional, and 2 cups of your bug. So we've covered that. Baking, so I bake for 20 minutes at 210. Then I rotate my my bread, because you know you've got hot spots and cold spots in your oven, so it gives that overall, you know, so for the mixture of the bread, so it kind of rotates it, so we're getting consistent coverage or temperature. So we've got that, so 20 minutes. Then the next 20 minutes I rotate and leave it there, and sometimes actually I forgot to say I put the oil on it at the second 20 minutes, because then I've got nice and toasty brown. Then when I pull it out and I check it to see how doughy it is, because I know it's not cooked through, because it is a minimum of 50 minutes it takes to cook these loaves. So I just check that, and that's okay. Then I put the lid on because I don't want it to go any browner, and then I will put it for the final 10 minutes. Now my hands, look, they're doughy. So I just have a little something that I want to show you. So what I did last night, this is the Rewena bug that we have used, and I used half of the recipe to make a little loaf of bread. And here is our little loaf of bread. Okay, so this is made with the Rewena bug that we have been producing. This is our bread, and I'm going to cut it so you can have a look. I was watching this program last night on TV, and he was making a sandwich, and it was tomato, ham and cheese and lettuce, and I was like, oh man, I'm like super hungry here, but I had no bread in the house, and I thought, well, I'm going to make this bread, and I thought you would love to see it. I want to show you. I'm going to bring this back up. Now, it's still warm, so when you cut into warm bread with a knife, it is going to get slightly doughy. It's like scones. You always pull the scones apart with your hands. Don't use a knife because then it turns to doughy. And this is what your loaf will look like. So it's got a lovely, it's aerated, you know, it's got a lovely crumb. It's very soft. So this is, I mean, when I get off here, I'm making my cheese, tomato and ham sandwich with lettuce. I'm gonna make myself a big cup of tea, and yeah, I'm getting down on this stuff, and then I will upload this video so you can have a look at it. But look at that, you know. And you know what, guys, this is what your loaf is gonna look like. This is consistency. This is what I'm looking for, consistency. So I just have to thank every single person that has been part of this this course. I don't know how many people got to the end, because this is the longest one. This is 32 minutes. I'm going to get probably 35. I just want to say a big mihi out to the people that are on our Daily Bread website. They have been inspirational to me in making this bread recipe. They are just amazing, and I have interviewed some of the people that are members and talked to them about the whakapapa of their rewena, of their bug, and their memories that they share. Thank you so much. You know, this is inspirational. I give this freely to the universe, because I truly believe that when you know how to make this bread, your family will never ever go hungry. And it's important that we do that. The only thing that I ask is if you use this, please do not use my videos or anything like that for your own financial gain. Okay? Because this is not what this is about. This kaupapa is about sharing. This kaupapa is about sustenance of us, of our people. And this is about, you know, building our resilience when there are tough times, and how we can do that through cooking. So thank you so much. I'm just absolutely, so look, oh God, I've got flour all over me. I'm just absolutely stoked. My children think there's only about 3 or 4 people that watch my YouTube videos. Oh, just got that in my ear again. And there's more than 2 or 3 people that watch my YouTube videos. So please subscribe to my channel. Please share with your peeps. It's just been an absolute joy. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have got to the end of our 7 days. All the feedback that I have received from people over the week, their questions, their nervousness, their confidence that we've been building up. You know, you guys got this. You guys have totally got this. You guys have got this. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. My name is Linda McGregor. My YouTube channel is called Linda's Kai Love You. I have another channel page on Facebook, which is called Linda's Kai Love You, and I have a bread page which is called Our Daily Bread for our dedicated bread makers. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much, and take care. Ka kite mai whānau.